don't think you can get all the Stones of Baron Sire without at least starting the Dark Brotherhood's questline as one of the stones. This is in their main base of operations in Fall Creek. I don't think it'll work on me. So tomorrow will play with them while I pick them off. I could have used invisibility to be hidden run tactics. Unfortunately, I have these two idiots!
I claim your soul for eternal. Darkness consume you!
Two idiots that give me a strong desire to blast them with Wobberjack! And do you know how predictable that can be? Not at all!
Shadows consume you. Who's that?
It can give them pain, it can also heal them, it can also change them into something else! Like a chicken! Or a rabbit! In both cases, they won't turn violent, and they won't bite your head off. Or peck you to death, depending on which one you're thinking of. Time to move on.
He's close. I'm certain of it. We must prepare ourselves.
Staff paralysis. What we need is here. Sex life. Well, either that or a whisper.
Here. And he hasn't seen us yet. Brynjolf, watch the door.
Aye, lass. Nothing's get by me.
Climb down that ledge. See if you can...
Carlisle, when will you learn you can't get the drop on me? When Brynjolf brought you before me, I could feel a sudden shift in the wind. And at that moment, I knew it would end with one of us at the end of a blade. What's Carlisle been filling your head with? Tales of thieves with honor? Oaths ripe with falsehoods and broken promises? Nocturnal doesn't care about you, the key, or anything having to do with the guild. Revenge, is it? Have you learned nothing from your time with us? When will you open your eyes and realize how little my actions differ from yours? Both of us lie, cheat, and steal to further our own end. It's clear you'll never see the skeleton key as I do, as an instrument of limitless wealth. Instead, you've chosen to fall over your own foolish code. Then the die is cast, and once again my blade will taste nightingale blood. Carlisle, I'll deal with you after I rid myself of your...
Let's hope he's not resistant to paralysis.
In the meantime, perhaps you would...
Dare hide from me, Mercer Frey! I guess you're not resistant to paralysis. Yes. Field of Lady Nightingales. Where are you hiding? Why am I speaking like this?
Skeleton key in the eye, and let's get out of here.
There, lass. Something must have fallen on the other side of the storm because it isn't moving.
Find another way out of here before the place fills with water.
Here's a tip. Use console commands to get the eyes of the founder. After you've left this place. And save just before you bring up the skeleton key just to be certain. This quest is still bugged. If you don't do it, then you won't be able to set it on to Delvin. This way. The lake's probably got a little lower.
Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know that.
I can't believe it's over. 25 years in exile, and just like that, it's done. All that remains is to ensure the safe return of the skeleton key. I'm afraid it's not that simple. When the skeleton key was stolen from the Twilight Sepulchre, our access to the inner sanctum was removed. The only way to bring it back will be through the Pilgrim's Path. It wasn't created for the Nightingales. It was created to test those who wish to serve Nocturnal in other ways. As a consequence, I have no knowledge of what you'll be facing. Brynjolf is needed back at the Thieves Guild to keep order while you're away. And I can't bear to face Nocturnal after my failure to protect the key. I'm afraid you'll have to face the end of your journey alone. Take this with you. I'm not certain if it will help within the walls of the Sepulchre, but I certainly don't need it as much as you. I've had this bow almost my entire life, and it's never let me down. I hope it brings you the same luck. The conduit to Nocturnal's realm, the realm of Everglow, has been in Skyrim, well, longer than recorded history. The Twilight Sepulchre was constructed around it by Man and Mer in order to shield it from those who would exploit its power. It's through this conduit that we're given Nocturnal's greatest gift, our luck. What she gains in return is a complete mystery. Even though Nocturnal doesn't desire worship in the traditional sense, the Twilight Sepulchre propagated a small group of priests. Of course, they'd never come into direct contact with Nocturnal, but they insisted they had her favor. As part of their duties, the priests created all sorts of baseless rituals and ceremonies, all on Nocturnal's behalf. These priests weren't a threat to the skeleton key, or the conduit to Nocturnal's realm, so they were tolerated. One of their ceremonies involved the Pilgrim's Path, a so-called test of worthiness. If a pilgrim was able to complete the path, it was said that they would live forever in Twilight. What that means is anyone's guess.
Your exile is over, Carlia.
Yes, no Nightingale?
Not right
Sorry,
now.
lad. I've got
Nightingale?
important things to do. We'll speak another time.
There's the Windhelm, judging by the area.
Did you want something?
Asked to deliver one of the eyes of the Falmer.
Looking for work? Well, I was looking for this little beauty. If you happen across any other unusual trinkets like this, be sure to bring them to me. I promise it'll be worth the effort. By the 8, you actually got your hands on it. This alone is worth more than some thieves earn in a lifetime. Can I give you a little tip? Take every job you can get, or else you'll end up a beggar.
This camera I sold everything that I didn't need, and also improved me Nightingale bow I got from Carlia. Let's see how good it is in the Twilight Sepulchre. Yeah. Finally going into this place and it's like he wants to talk to us.
I don't recognize you, but I sense that you're one of us. Who are you? The last of the Nightingale Sentinels, I'm afraid. I've defended the Sepulchre alone for what seems like an eternity. We were betrayed by one of our own kind. In fact, I'm to blame for what's happened here. I was blinded by dark treachery masquerading as friendship. Perhaps if I had been more vigilant, then Mercer Frey wouldn't have lured me to my fate and stolen the skeleton key. I haven't heard that name in a long time. How do you know of me? The key! You have the skeleton key! I never thought I'd see it again. And Mercer Frey? Then it's over, and my death wasn't in vain. I owe you a great deal, Nightingale. That's quite a noble sentiment for someone in our, well, in your line of work. My only regret is that you had to undertake this task alone. Carlia? She's still alive? I feared she'd befallen the same fate, ending up a victim of Mercer's betrayal. Nothing would bring me more pride than to return the key, but I'm afraid it's impossible. From the moment I arrived here, I felt myself, well, dying. The Sepulchre isn't merely a temple or a vault to house the key. Within these walls is the Ebonmere, a conduit to Nocturnal's realm of Everglow. When Mercer stole the key, that conduit closed, severely limiting our ties to her.